Hey, this is Steve Good on the Coin Chat, back with my co-host Yuri Cataldo. Today we're joined by a special guest, Dragos, the CTO from GINCoin. And before we jump in, just a reminder to everybody that if you like the show, give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe or to hit that little bell on your way out, because we have GINCoin on the show today. So Dragos, welcome. It's great to have you here. I'm done trying to yodel with my inability to speak today.
So many tongue twisters. Hello, Dragos.
It's okay. Hi. Thank you for having me, guys.
Yes, it's a real pleasure. Thank you for joining. So, look, we've had a lot of discussions offline before getting here because, of course, Yuri and I were trying to really dig in and understand GINCoin. It's had a history in the Masternode world. It's a project I told you I've been tracking and following for a long time. And of course, for all the listeners, this is not a sponsored episode. We're also not promoting this. We're just here to dig in and find out about a cool project that we like, which is, well, how would you describe it? You're a platform for other masternodes. Would that be a good way of describing it?
Yeah, so we're both a platform and we're a coin as well. So we have GINCoin on one end and we have the GIN platform on the other hand.
Right.
And GINCoin is in fact right now transitioning to being itself a coin platform, meaning we want to use the GINCoin network as a platform for other types of apps.
Okay. Sure. So if we go kind of back to the beginning foundation, how did you guys, start out and end up at a place where you realized there was a gap in the market, and that gap being that other Masternode projects were probably having the same struggle as you were probably having, which is I'm not non-techie, or Yuri is definitely a non-techie. He's a marketing guy, and he's trying to figure out how the hell do I install this thing? And you said, it's fine. It's easy. We're just going to click a button and you can install. How did you get to that point where you realized that there was a market for people like Yuri?
Yes, exactly.
The story is very cool behind the project. In fact, it was end of 2017, beginning of 2018. In our offices in Bucharest, we have a larger group of companies here, and we all share the same offices. We have a 4-story building, and we interact a lot between us, between the different companies that are interlinked in our organization. So, as you know, probably 2017 Masternode fever. Yeah, there were a lot of very hot projects. The ROIs
coming and going faster than we could blink.
Oh yeah.
So our colleagues, being people involved in the crypto space, even if not in particular projects, but just as guys that played around with a few coins, had real struggle setting up masternodes for the different coins available back then, even though most of them were computer programmers. So in this we saw the potential. We saw that the masternodes.online statistics back then were showing a very good increase in numbers of masternodes, which turned to be a real market potential. So we envisioned a way for people to deploy masternodes in clicks.
Right.
And we also saw that back then there were services that were manually deploying your masternode for a fee. So people were obviously interested in paying for it. So instead of doing stuff the lean way as we were used to before, we thought we should launch this as both a platform and a coin at the same time and test the interest of the people in this space.
Yeah.
What better way of testing interest for hosting masternodes than creating a coin that both has masternode capabilities and can be used as a currency of the platform.
Right. But in the process of doing that, you started monetizing your platform right at the beginning to enable people to rent the masternode space that they need, like the hosted environment that they need to set up. So right from the beginning, you were a monetizing business where most people go, oh, it's just a masternode. They give all the coins away. They have no real purpose. But actually, your whole purpose, we have a visitor coming in on the show today.
Caught you with that.
Yeah, you guessed it right from the beginning.
CA333 from Komodo. otherwise known as Caden, CTO of Komodo, is joining us. He's just popping in. We're just waiting for his video to show. Well, we'll get to him in a minute.
We'll get to him.
Guys, I know that, Dragos, I know you said you'd like to meet him at some stage, so we thought,
why not?
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Why not? Dreams can come true on the Coin Chat.
Yeah.
Let's have a bottle of wine and, discuss the beautiful start of the gym platform. And
yeah,
also, nice meeting Caden as well. We have worked with Komodo for the past month or so. And adopted their delayed proof of work solution for securing our blockchain against 51% attacks. And it's been a great experience. And
so you've got the same concept of this delayed proof of work that Komodo has, right? So that there's the ability to sort of back it up to the Bitcoin network in such a way that the hackability of it becomes almost impossible because there's a backed up version of the whole thing anyway that you could just roll back a version. And it's no big deal.
Yeah, that's basically what they do, and they have a real value proposition for the blockchain projects that have a smaller developer community.
Right.
Hi guys.
Hello guys. Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
If you can.
Hey, how are you? Sorry
Good, thank you.
For the audio interruption.
That's quite all right. You're on a very limited network today, I guess.
I'm only on a decentralized network.
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
He's not on the GINCoin network. I know that much.
Right.
Hi, Caden. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too. Pleasure.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not getting much of a signal coming through from you. You're having a video problem, I guess, Caden, huh? Okay, well,
he's kind of coming through.
Yeah? Okay. Oh,
there
he is. We got a shadowed version of him. Cool. Dark mystery version of Caden Komodo.
In the palm trees.
Compression,
Yeah.
It totally is.
So Caden, introduction over here to Dragos, the CTO from GINCoin, and GINCoin, of course, Dragos' introduction to CA333, otherwise known as Caden, CTO of Komodo. So you guys both have DPOW. We thought it'd be interesting for you guys to meet up and just say hello. And
digitally shake hands.
What's that?
Digitally shake hands.
Digitally shake hands. That's right. There he is. Nice. Cool. So anyway, let's go back over to you.
Yeah, cryptographically.
Yeah, cryptographically, that's right.
It is cryptographically shake hands. Yes.
Yeah, we can have a trustless handshake.
Mm-hmm.
or a frictionless handshake. We could just keep going. We're trustless and frictionless and whatever else we can come up with.
All the buzzwords, guys.
Digitally signed, of course.
Yes, all the buzzwords. Nice work. Thank you.
Okay, so let's just bounce back over to Dragos for a second. So you've got this platform. You've now been able to get a huge number of other blockchain Masternode projects on your platform so that they're able to do the same thing that you did for yourselves, which is the whole concept of a one-click. And or not one click exactly, but sign up and I can immediately deploy a Masternode and I can run my Masternode on whatever coin I choose without having to spend all the time being a techie like me, but being more like a non-techie like Yuri and hop in and start running a Masternode all by himself.
Yeah, that's basically the proposition of the Gym platform.
Right.
And we have been overwhelmed with demand since day one.
Mm-hmm.
We got to 1,000 Masternodes hosted in probably a month or so, maybe less than 2 months. I don't remember the numbers exactly. And being the first of this kind, the first platform of this kind, was a real overwhelming phenomenon that happened to us. But as soon as copies of what we've done started appearing, because it's not one of those technological breakthroughs that only allow to a certain party to develop such a thing. Once the model was proven, now a lot of, let's say the market is commoditized. A lot of other projects, maybe 20 that we know of, started offering the same services.
Right.
Okay. Right.
So now that's led you to the next generation of realizing that there's probably more you could do to just being a Masternode hosting platform. But maybe I should let you describe for all of our listeners in the least technical way you can, although there are technical listeners who want to hear this. But just describe for us the basic principle of moving from a Masternode itself. You now have over 3,000 Masternodes running inside your network, right? So
over 7,000 Masternodes.
Over 7,000, sorry, over 7,000 nodes running. So,
but only 3,000 of them or so, between 3,000 and 4,000 are GINCoin Masternodes.
Okay, right. That's what I meant. Was there's about 3,000. So those 3,000 or 4,000 GINCoin Masternodes that are running are the ones that you're now going to leverage to take you to the next generation of your own platform. Is that right?
Yeah, actually, what we like to say is that we enable them to get an additional stream of income, and this time it's for real rendered services rather than blockchain subsidies for just being there.
Right.
This is that was a bit, let's say, uneasy for us being in the Masternode space, which don't want to sound detrimental or anything, but the average quality of the projects we find here is not. You have a lot of exit scams basically in this space,
okay.
in other crypto.
Yeah. The adult coin industry.
Yeah, that's the adult coin industry. Yeah. So seeing this and seeing that the fact that most masternodes don't actually do anything, they have no real purpose. Certainly not a purpose like the Komodo notaries, for example, which implement a similar concepts to the masternodes. So seeing this, we thought how can we leverage the network that we've built, the awesome community that we have, the availability of all these people to be close and develop close to us and update their software and so on, and at the same time the possibility of automatically upgrading and deploying changes to all those masternodes that we manage, which is 70-something% of our network. So we came up with a concept that not only introduces additional revenue streams for the GINCoin masternodes, but can potentially render services for any business out there. And I'm going to leave it like that. Yeah.
So you're describing basically the nodes serving a greater purpose than just staking coins and getting paid, but actually leveraging the usage of that coin in a distributed or decentralized fashion to provide some sort of a service that people could then use by building what you called a Gin app or a gap. Yeah. It's a layer on top. So this is basically a call to action, I guess you could say, is people that want to build apps and be able to connect into the Gin network. You've got 3,500, 4,000 nodes that are sitting there waiting for action.
Basically, yeah. So maybe not people, probably organizations, but yeah.
Sure. Yeah, not Yuri and I trying to create an app to sell a book, although
not yet anyway.
Be a very innovative idea, but maybe we can just lightly touch on the kinds of companies that you might imagine that could build something on your platform. I mean, this is just, we talked about this offline, so we know that this is not the core business for GINCoin or Gin Foundation to build these apps. The idea is to get people engaged to build those apps on your network to leverage those nodes. So I know we talked about a number of ideas. Do you want to just talk through some of the sort of traditional kind of businessy things people could potentially use the network for, like on a very, very high level?
Yeah, so on a very, very high level, for any business that has demand for, let's say, services, for a particular service that's their business purpose and need infrastructure to deliver that service, and have an audience of their own that usually pays them for the service. So what we're looking to do is enable these organizations to transition part of their current IT costs to a decentralized and distributed network.
Right.
These, we call them cargos. But they're essentially computer program workloads. Distribute them to the Gin network for execution and remunerate the GINCoin masternodes for their work on a per interval or per particular job basis. And now, of course, different types of potential use cases arise from here, and there are many examples, but we strongly feel that in creating the enabling technology, we are only touching on the surface of the use cases. Yeah.
So the key distinction here, and just because we spoke about this, right? So the key distinction is this is not about high yield transaction, high intensity transactional type database crunching is not the game here. This is more about, for example, distributed content or distributed gaming, or could be potentially things like peer-to-peer networking type stuff, or maybe distributed web services.
Yeah, so a very good use case is for an app that needs computers distributed all across the world, maybe. It's composed of services that are running standalone on those computers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you needed a service where it was local to a certain location, like I need services in Vietnam and I need them in London and I need them in Frankfurt and I need them in New York, then you could set up a network specific to those regions for feeding and controlling or accessing data that you need for running your business.
Yeah, in fact,
presumably you could plug in oracles on top to pull in the data that's from the outside market and pump that in to give you the relevance that you need for your market. Is that right?
That is indeed the use case we have thought about.
Cool.
With a lot of networks, a lot of blockchain projects. Hey!
Yeah, I got it. The light bulb above my head.
Yeah, we get that a lot. I know. It's
very
tough.
Cool.
So without concrete examples, we have a tough job, but we're managing it. So we have a bunch of blockchain projects that introduced oracles or the concept of oracles. For people who have not been introduced to the concept yet, an oracle is a special type of node that has access to some data that's outside of the blockchain scope. Let's say maybe outside temperature, and it turns that information into information that can be stored on the blockchain in a transaction. Right. Yeah, and you can have, of course, if you have a single node saying this, it would be an authority, and in order to achieve to find the truth or achieve the truth network, you need the network of these oracles that achieve consensus together on the temperature, outside temperature.
Got it. Very cool.
So.
Let's see if Caden is still there. Caden, are you still there? I can see he's here.
He is, but he doesn't want to show his...
No, I think he's having a network latency problem because he hasn't figured out how latency gets solved. He must be running his PC on the blockchain. It's a bad joke.
Yeah, well, we all know.
All right, Caden, when you've got a signal and you can hear us, just speak up anytime, no problem, because we'd love to get you and Dragos having a little chat and just talking about blockchain technologies and hopefully you can hear us too. I'll try sending him an email here while we're having this discussion as well.
Sure. Dragos, I have a quick question for you. Yeah. So you mentioned when you were looking at some of your other projects, some of them were just, well, not scams, but just not legitimate projects. Is your platform, do you have any control over the types of projects that come onto the GIN network? Are you able to regulate that in some way to kind of weed out the obvious scammers from the actual legitimate projects?
Well, it's a good question. We have control over what projects list on the platform, obviously, because we list them. But
right.
We list them as a result of their application.
Okay.
So we have avoided the position of recommending any project to anyone. So if you look at the GIN platform and even its terms and conditions and so on, we are not an investment advice creator. Gotcha. Obviously, we can offer you the services, and we're in the infrastructure business. We're offering you infrastructure to host your masternodes. We offer you monitoring tools for them. We offer you financial tools to estimate revenue, but we do not recommend any particular project on the platform.
Okay.
What happens is we have a tier system, and we have two tiers here, tier 1 and tier 2, but they are exclusively so projects in tiers are exclusively set apart by our community through votes with their GINCoin masternodes. So this again is not a recommendation of the platforms, but rather a reflection of how our community sees the different projects that are listed on the platform.
Okay.
So if I have a GINCoin masternode, yay, CA joined 2 times now.
Yeah, he does. Replicated himself.
I'll try to remove the other one.
If you have a GINCoin masternode that's hosted on the GIN platform, then you'll be able to vote all the other projects that are listed there in one of the 2 tiers. And what you see on our homepage and the separation we do, it's a sum of all these votes.
Okay.
Automatic sum of these votes.
Yeah.
Got it.
At the same time, to further answer your question, we do not label a project as a scam or remove it out of the platform.
Okay.
Unless there are no nodes hosted left, obviously, because else we have customers who pay us to keep their nodes, and it would be almost difficult to disrupt their service. And or we can't find any community left with the project.
Yeah, that must be probably one of the most difficult things about having a Masternode platform like this is you're providing it as a service, but trying to protect the users at the same time is always a problem we have in crypto nowadays, that we all have to take some responsibility to protect people, even though in blockchain we all say we want to have control of our own stuff and we want to manage our own money. And yet the irony is now you're asking us to take care of you, which is a little bit backwards when you want to take care of yourselves. So make up your minds.
So are you in charge of your private keys or not?
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's absolutely true. So, I mean, of course, the difficulty with all this stuff is you could end up with scams just as much as CoinMarketCap can end up with a scam, as much as our dear friends at La Token end up with scams.
Right. Look at the exchange world, right? Because we were just talking earlier, Steve.
Yeah, we were. And you get a lot of projects that are scams that still end up on exchanges. And, you know, Yuri and I have covered that before because it's...
Turn out scams. So if we look at the top 50 exchanges on CoinMarketCap and we look at the volume there, because they're ranking volume, it's almost, you know, I'm fairly mad at CoinMarketCap because they don't filter out those projects. So I get what you mean with projects on the GIN platform. Yeah. But I'm talking about the exchanges. So they don't filter out exchanges which fake volume. And the faking of volume is almost obvious.
Yeah.
Anybody who's done a bit of trading. Myself not included. Yeah,
so what got you into crypto in the first place? How did you get started in this whole sphere of cryptocurrency and cryptography in general?
My first start was probably somewhere around 2013. I don't know exactly what I was doing there, but what I was doing then. But that's when I tried to mine Bitcoin for the first time, or at least see what's the beef with it. Yeah, trying to wrap my head around the concept. Liked it a lot, and then my first real interaction with getting involved more and all was after the Ethereum ICO.
Okay.
When I understood the potential of global supercomputer, familiar terms, and it caught my attention a lot, and especially the fact that with Ethereum we got the first time in history when we could automatically execute business logic based on facts. Yeah, so cool. That's how I got involved, and then during all this time, I was founding 2 of my current companies, and I was fairly busy with those. So nothing professional came out of it, just a passion for the whole space. And then in 2018, I founded, along with my current co-founders, the GIN platform, which is the first real interaction as a participant, not only as a lurker in the crypto.
Yeah. I've got a really weird question. If I were to get a masternode from Komodo, and I wanted to take this masternode and I wanted to put it onto the GINCoin platform, could I do that?
We don't have masternodes. There are no masternodes on Komodo.
But I have a request. CA333, you got to help me out here. I want to integrate you guys together.
Tell me.
Well, this was my dream idea. They're going to throw it in there. So it's like, give me a Masternode, and I'm going to put it over here with GINCoin. We're going to mine the coins. We're going to leverage their network. We're going to use and trade in the Komodo barter decks, and we're going to show the world how crazy we can be on this show.
I mean, there's definitely the possibility of adding some sort of Masternode functionality to this blockchain spin-up framework, right, that we've been talking about recently. And I mean, yeah, Dragos, feel free to get in touch. I mean, we can work together on this. It's like a pretty interesting topic. And I wanted to ask you, actually, Dragos, like, how did you come across Komodo? Like, how did you get to know about Depot, about the network? What made you like sure about wanna using this technology, and did you have any experience with it earlier, previously to implementing it?
Very good question. So it was pretty organic, let's say, my first interaction with Komodo. I have not participated in your early stages or been an investor or anything in Komodo back then. But when the 51% attack madness started, and it particularly hit the Masternode coins a bit, because all the coins that had a very low hash power got hit with one or two 51% attacks, I started investigating potential solutions for this. And, it's obvious your marketing worked. Found your website, and then started to dig deeper. At the same time, when looking for it, found a bunch of Duke's tweets and a bunch of articles with success stories for especially the EMC2 attack preventions. And I said, sure, let's give it a go. Got in touch with I think with JL777 back then, and things evolved naturally. So
excellent. Thank you very much for this insight. Yeah, very interesting. I was very curious. Like from the beginning, never had the chance to really ask you personally. So yeah. I just thought, let's ask it now. Great. Thanks.
You're welcome. I think you have a lot of implementations for the coins in the Komodo ecosystem, while Gin is one of the outside of the Komodo ecosystem projects, meaning its code base was not created by the Komodo-enabled technology.
Mm-hmm. But it's still like a great showcase. I think it's a great showcase also like for this independence and this liberty in the Komodo ecosystem that we're like really open for external projects, external blockchains, and basically compatible with the whole ecosystem, not just like with internal Komodo tokens and projects, but rather really like open to the whole world.
Yeah, it is. And I wanted to get in touch with you anyways since last week to discuss more about the barter decks and the new stuff that you're preparing there, because you have a lot of goodies, I understand, that are not available in the current public version, which is an outdated version from what I know.
Sure. Yeah, we can. I would love to work with you on that. So we're basically currently in the alpha testing, and we're soon, like we're not very far away from the beta, from the public and the official beta stage. So I'd love to show you like the API documentation is basically in the final miles being like completed. And it covers actually the full functionality from the first version, but it's like solid. It's like perfectly like polished, and it's very mighty, very flexible decks now. It's the third generation, right? So
sounds good. Let's do that.
So there you go, Yuri. We have formed the first relationship between Komodo and GINCoin right here on the show.
Right.
Pretty awesome.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. So, Caden, how are you, by the way? We haven't really said much to you yet because we were waiting for connectivity to improve a bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I had to reconnect again. It's like, I guess, like the dual VPN network. I have like a sort of kill switch, in my environment, and whenever like one VPN like dies, the normal network won't let me like keep staying online. It just like kills the connection completely. It's not always like the best thing, but it's definitely the most secure thing to have.
Yeah.
But I guess you hear me good now. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. The video is.
So yeah, we have a lot of.
But that doesn't matter. I mean, we can hear you, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And
so we have a lot of.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead, Steve.
No, I was going to say just that you, since we had you on the show, there's been a pretty big announcement, the one that you told us was coming, which is now out there, which is the lizard chain.
The chain lizard.
Chain lizard.
Chain lizard.
Right. Chain lizard. Yeah. Chain lizard. So yeah, that's. I mean, it's kind of a little pre-leak. It's not a real announcement, and we haven't really presented the final lyrics and UI, the user interface, and like how it's gonna look. What we did was basically like demonstrating the functionality, the backend functionality, by showing like a report of a prototype and letting him like create an own chain and like this whole process in under like 60 seconds, just to demonstrate like how fast it is possible and that the functionality is covered. So we've added a couple of more things like to the system, and that shall all be soon announced. So we're planning to get like the absolute final user interface design and layouts towards the next 2 weeks. So if you want, I'd love to cover that like again separately, and,
sure.
And we can.
Yeah.
I mean, if you'd like, we can do like the first public demo with you on the show.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be great. So, in fact, we hadn't thought to do that, but we could do a follow-up episode with each of you guys where we'll do a how to set up a Masternode in 30 seconds with Dragos, and we could do the same thing on how to set up your own blockchain on Chain Lizard with Caden, CA333, and that would be really cool just to get people in there to actually see how easy this stuff is now. And you know, we got trolled a little bit for the last episode with you, Caden, where we talked about, you know, this going mainstream and people saying this isn't mainstream, and I said, well, relatively speaking, it is, because Yuri can click a button and do something now, so it's much easier than previous. And of course,
you know, I had a phone call today with someone from our team, and you know what we're basically gonna do is we were going to have like a kid, like a child of one of our teammates, create a chain with Chain Lizard, just to demonstrate like how easy this is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I had a similar conversation with Dragos earlier today, and we've been talking about some of the business and user applications, and you know, the one click or the multi-click but simple click through to host a Masternode is great, but trying to dig into that next level of, you know, distributed nodes and how they can actually be used for applications is a really tricky conversation, because it's kind of like, well, what can you use it for? Well, it's like, what can't you use it for? But we don't want to specify the application because we want people to be creative and come up with the apps that they see that they can use with the nodes. So, you know, both of you guys are sitting here, I think, on the cusp of, let's call it the next year or so, where you're going to both realize, and I'm saying this as a guy that's been in business a long time, I really believe you guys are both going to find that there's going to be a level of transformation that you're going to be both pushed into a little bit to business transform some of this stuff, so that people like Yuri and I can really start to use it and understand it. And I think you're getting close. Yeah. And I think that's why I wanted you to be here together, is because you both have something really unique you bring to the table in terms of how you're transforming the world of technology. And it's just getting that technology in our hands now to the next level. We can use it for real practical purposes, building apps, building our own chains.
I want to give like one example, Steve. Like this week, like today, we had like a stand-up meeting, like internally. It was like regarding the new Bartodex, like the NM2, the third iteration of decentralized exchange technology in Komodo. So this is already utilizing like the cross-chain atomic swap technology, but based on like better network stack technology, right? The tech stack we're using now is like really top notch, and we're using the creme de la creme at the peer-to-peer technology layer, and combining basically the best pieces of blockchain technology layer. And we ran it today on mobile smartphone. We've been running prototype on this mobile smartphone. We're fetching the order book of the decentralized exchange on smartphone, like on mobile user devices.
Wow. I won't deny that since we had our last call, Kate, and I tried to take my Mac and tried to install Bartodex, and I'm just not technical enough. I had a small fail, and I'm sorry. I did try. So I resorted to GitHub.
Leave it for now. Yeah, leave it for now. Don't touch it for now, and wait for the new version. Version 2.0.
I'll tell you
That's really, it's
yeah, but the next thing
I guarantee you, look, I guarantee you with my, I'll put my name, Caden, on this, that you're going to be happy and it's going to satisfy you and you're going to do like a trade with it without like getting pissed or like throwing your phone against the wall or nothing like that.
You're giving me a Masternode to put on GINCoin. That's the deal here.
You have to have support for Gin there to make it happy, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, why not? I mean, you know.
Dragos, we have to work on a Masternode concept. Yeah, because I know like from Steve, he wants to create his chain with Chain Lizard once we're there. And we promised him he's going to get like 10, 20 like tickets for like users and fans to create chains. And he wants to probably have the Masternode tech in his chain integrated.
Yeah.
So this as a new AC chain parameter, that would be amazing. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what we're building yet. We're just going to build some Masternode. We're going to put nodes all over the GINCoin network. Then we're going to use the Gin app to sit on top of it so that we can trade atomic swaps on Komodo. And I'm just going to keep inventing. But all we're going to do is sell my book.
You know, Kaden, so with the seed nodes and the Explorer on the Gin freighter fleet. So that's a perfect use case.
Or you can start calling them atomic freighters or atomic cargo. We can get as creative as you want here, guys. I don't really mind. But yeah, but listen, so, you know, Kate, I will say I gave it a try. I tried installing it. I tried a few other things, and I realized it's okay if I'm out of my depth a little bit. I'm pretty good technically, but I know when I've reached my limits, when it's all like black and white screens and I don't quite know what I'm doing, and I manage.
I'll tell you, Steve, straight how that is. That are like community projects that are not considered like Komodo products, really.
Right.
There was like some side projects, etc. So I do not recommend using that stuff, right? So you can trust me when I tell you use something, it's gonna be like okay or good. And if I tell you don't touch it, that means it's unfortunately it's just like a pile of some code, right?
Yuri, I won't do anything else on my Mac. I've probably broken it already and I have to undo it somehow. I don't even know what I've done.
Exactly. Just let it go.
Let it go. On the other hand, I can go back over to Dragos, and he's already got a clickable app I can just click and run. So, Dragos, what do you think? Should we get you back on the show to do a demonstration of how to set up a node so people can actually see it in action?
Sure. You can set up the node yourself, and I'm going to watch you and take user experience notes on it.
We only need 1,000 GINCoins to make that happen, and then we're off and running.
Yeah, you can do it on the testnet.
Could do it on the testnet. Oh, okay, that's true. We could do it on the testnet. Why not? That would be fun. But interestingly, so, you know, the title of our episode is about giveaways. So, you know, Dragos, do you want to tell people? So we are doing a giveaway today, and you've got an announcement to make about that. So why don't you tell people that are, you know, GINCoin fans what it is that we're giving out to people who have not gotten into Masternodes, who are into Masternodes, what we're offering for them. And then I'll tell them a bit about the rules about how to get engaged in this.
Yeah, so the prize is especially targeted to those who are into Masternodes because it's services from our platform. So it's going to be 2 prizes. The first prize gets 6 months of dedicated hosting on the Gin platform, and the second prize gets 3 months of the same service.
And it's for any node that you have on the platform.
Any supported coin. Or any supported coin.
So any coin. So if I wanted to mine Pivx, or if I wanted to if I want Dash Node, or if I want whatever, I have to get the coins myself and have the coins to stake the node. But you're providing 6 months for our winner and 3 months for our runner-up. And here's how we're going to do this. To win, here's what you have to do. First of all, because Yuri and I really want to feel a little bit of love, just a little bit of love, just subscribe to our channel first. Then down in the description below in YouTube, we have got 2 links, one for Facebook and one for Twitter. All you need to do is click on one of those links. They are both going to have a mention to both the coin chat and to GINCoin. And all you need to do is what, Dragos?
Is tweet or post something on Facebook about the reasons why you love GINCoin so much.
Why do you love GINCoin so much? And to win, we're looking for the most creative answers, whether it's a written answer, whether it's just hashtags, whether it's a meme, whatever you like. All you need to do is reply to the comments or reply with a comment to one of the two links from either Facebook or Twitter and give us a subscribe. And we will announce the winners a week from now. So the episode is coming out, and then a week from the episode release, we will have a follow-on episode where we will announce the answer to who the winner is and who the runner-up is and how they can claim the prize.
Yeah. And maybe do a demo of Masternode deployment.
Yes, and we will do, when we do the follow-up episode, we will also do a demo of how to set it up. So, of course, those who are winning can set it up right there and watch us do it, and then they have the experience. And we've got the instructional video. And for those who have not won, but really like the idea of setting up a Masternode on any coin of their choice, then they'll know how to do it. So,
Great.
Including Yuri.
Right.
At least,
I think I'm the go-to example.
In fact, you know what I think we're going to do? So, I mean, my suggestion is we're going to make Yuri set this node up.
So easy, even Yuri can do it. This is going to be good.
I think Yuri is very qualified. So, in this, honestly, really, in our mission of making the most easy to use product to enable anyone to deploy a Masternode, I have tested this in family. We have tested this with kids. We have tested this with all types of people, with people from all types of areas, which not very technologically related. Yeah?
Right.
So if you cannot do it, it's our fault. So
no. It means I'd be really sad. If I can't do it, it'd be really sad. Even a kid can do it, except for me. No, we're gonna.
On that episode, I'm probably just gonna sit silent and watch. I'm gonna have an episode where I'm the quiet one, and Yuri's gonna do all the questions. He's gonna be sweating. He's gonna be, wiping his brow. He's gonna be like, "Oh my God, I'm doing this live on the show. I mean, I can't get out of this. I'm not gonna edit anything."
We'll just see what happens.
And we're just gonna see what happens, because I mean, I can learn how to do it. If Yuri can do it, I can follow. It's gonna be great.
Be good.
So, guarantee the success.
Yeah, absolutely. So now that takes us over to Caden, who is CA333, but actually his real dream is to live with the number 7. Isn't that right, Caden?
Well, it's the 73.
That's right.
73.
Or it's binary. Actually, it's binary representation, a palindrome, right? Which goes forward, same as backward. But one other topic, Steve, while we're on 7, I've sent you a mail earlier with an address of a Komodo address.
Okay.
So that Komodo address has 77.7 Komodos loaded on it, right? Around $77 right now. And that address has a specific seed. So if you use a Gamma mobile or a Gamma, it doesn't matter, and you type in a password like a seed, you would get that address. And this seed is hidden in your logo, the logo behind your head right now, the coin chat, right?
Okay, so I'm moving my head. Yuri's moving his head. We're going to get out of the way. So this logo, you're saying you have hidden, what did you hide in my logo?
I want them to hack your logo, right? So.
Okay, so roll back a second. I've lost now. I mean, wait, let me just ask. Dragos, do you understand what he's talking about?
So probably part of your logo, your full logo, represents the seed that deterministically generates the private key for that address that he sent you.
Is this like a QR code thing? Like you scan you're just talking about the letter C.
Just this part?
Just the C, right?
It's kind of what Dragos said. So, I mean, basically, like you have this logo now, and let's say a good seed could see, I don't know, like this blue dot. You see this blue dot? Maybe like checking there are the different options. Checking the font, for example, of your logo, analyzing the font, detecting the precise font, and then using the font name as a seed, right? And that would, for example, lead you to the seed. So this is just one option of like 10,000 of different options. That I could have like measured the angle and specific like constellation of various like characters, like the C and A, right? I mean, I don't know, like there are like hundreds I could come up with, but it's not as hard as you would probably think. So if someone's been like kind of attentive and watching the last episodes of your videos, he'll like easily crack this one.
Okay, so I'm going to, just for the fun of it, I'm going to bring the logo up for a second so people can see a bigger version of it, because That's probably easier so people know. Just talking about the logo itself. So here's a preview. I'm just popping up the logo. Can everyone see that? Just a big, huge C on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
But I'm talking about the full logo, like the coin
the
chat,
full,
the whole thing,
okay.
the
Well,
full one.
The whole thing with the coin chat. So to make it fair,
yeah, exactly.
Let me bring that up for a second, because then if I can find that, because no challenges on the spot. Steve's got to go and find his logos, which he doesn't know where they're hidden inside his own network.
Get your head down, Steve.
Hang on,
exactly.
I think I know where it is. So just give me a second. I'm going to find it. You guys chit chat, and I'm going to find my logo. I know where it is. I've got it. I'll just bring up our background image, which has got the logo in it. That makes it easy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So it's this one. I'm looking for it.
So Dragos, while he's hunting, where did Gin come from? And the GINCoin, like where did your name come from?
Can't remember.
Drank a bottle of gin?
That's right, a bottle of gin. No. You're like, that's what we're gonna do.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know that a bottle of gin was involved, but I remember that.
Amazing, genius. I love that. I was probably involved as well then.
You like gin.
I've got the full logo up. So by the full logo, it's the word "the coin chat" with the blue logo there, and someplace in the words "the coin chat," Caden has hidden something for those techies who actually know what the hell he's talking about. And for those of you who think I'm a complete idiot for saying that, please mention it down below in the description. I don't care. It's funny because I have no idea what's going on.
We'll add more hints on Twitter, right? Just
sure.
I'll mark you. I'll try.
Yes, we're going to put something out on Twitter separately. So we're going to have one set of tweets that goes out related to the GINCoin competition as it relates to winning some Masternode hosting services for 6 or 3 months for the lucky winner and runner-up. But we will do a separate set of tweets that go out on our channel that are mentioning you and us for the winning 77.7 GIN tokens, if they can figure out how to find them. And the way they need to find them is, again, they have to subscribe to our show, and they can just put their answer down below in the description of the episode, if that's good enough for you, Caden, or do you want them to put it into the tweet?
No, that's enough.
Okay. So we'll make sure that our friend Ben over at Komodo, your social manager guys, will give him a shout out because he's been great. So we'll let him know that we have to keep an eye on what's happening and figure out what the answer is, because I don't know what the answer is either, and I don't know if it's correct.
Perfect.
So there you go. We're giving away some hosting. We're giving away 77.7 Komodo coins because it's 3 digits and it's 777, and that keeps Caden happy because he's got his 3s and his 7s covered. Is that about right?
Cool stuff.
Great. Well, guys, thank you. Is there anything else either of you want to talk about in terms of your platforms before we go? Because I mean, always good to have a last mention of anything you want to say. I'll give you each a chance to say something. So I'll start with you, Dragos. Is there anything else you'd like to add in before we go?
Yeah, I would very much like to see a bit more subscriptions to the alpha stage of our freighter fleet. So what this essentially means is we're looking for GINCoin masternodes, especially ones that are hosted outside of the platform, because we have a bunch of those that are on the platform already, to sign up for the alpha. And this means that you're looking to support the network and be there in a private channel while we release constant, probably daily updates starting a week from now, and help us develop the deployment procedure for third-party masters.
Okay, so that's more for the technical guys to get involved then, right? There's not like anything in terms of signing up for a GIN.
A bit for the more technical users.
Okay,
sure.
Whatever links we need to give, you can share those with me on Telegram, and I'll put them up on the episode so they're in a description of how to get started with GINCoin and how to get involved as a developer, checking out the latest version of it with the freighters and cargo stuff. So those will be all there in the description for you.
Form, and it's probably already in your description down below.
Yeah, we'll make sure whatever we need to is there for everybody. So you can just check it out down below, and it'll be down there for everybody. And Caden, any final words from you on your dark environment and your sort of creepy Freddy type experience today?
Well, I'll add like a couple of words. Yeah, you know, like I'm in a new location. We're currently at the MWC in Barcelona in Spain. We're visiting like this mobile congress. It's like the biggest in the world. We're checking out like a dozen of like manufacturers, smartphone producers, app producers and agencies and studios. And we're making some new contacts here. We're really like keeping the focus on the mobile end. And we recently started like this Edge, the mobile gaming area on blockchain as well, like in addition to our blockchain gaming field that we are exploring. And the internet just sucks here, so that you're aware.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
We've had an unlucky run with you with internet connections.
At least the weather is good, right?
At least the weather is good.
I'm sorry, the next time, the third time it will be better.
Third time lucky, we say, yeah.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for listening in today to the Coin Chat with Steve Good, Yuri Cataldo, and our guests from GINCoin, Dragos, CTO, and special surprise guest, Caden, CA333 from Komodo, CTO. Don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, and ring that little bell on the way out. We like that. We appreciate it because it will make Komodo and GINCoin very happy to get subscribers to us. They would love that. So would we. So,
of course.
Absolutely. To the moon until next time.